What a shot.
Shot scores!
That is your winner.
Scores! A highlight reel goal! As the Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
We welcome you to St. Louis, Missouri. The Chicago Blackhawks on a road trip visit their rivals in St. Louis, the Blues, here at home. And welcome, everybody. I'm Max. Glad to have you with us here on a late edition of NHL and MHS hockey. I'm joined alongside Aaron. And we were supposed to do the Red Wings and Panthers game. That game ended in a 4-1 score favoring the Red Wings. But YouTube decided to just crash, basically, for millions of people. And did you experience that crash?
I personally wasn't on YouTube at the time. I know that I checked Down Detector and it said 397,000 downs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a little crazy.
It was a lot of downs. A lot of people were down. And we were in the broadcast of the Red Wings-Panthers game, 8 minutes in, and I think now the stream posted because I ended it. So there's just 6 or 7 minutes of me. 6 or 7 minutes.
All right. Okay, that's my job. That's my job.
Of me just wondering what's going on, checking Twitter if it was actually crashed, and then figuring out it actually crashed, and then ending the stream. So that's on YouTube right now. I might private the stream or whatever, but since there's no goals or in the stream yet, it was like a 22-minute stream. So we're back here. We're gonna do the Blues Blackhawks, and the Blackhawks have a 1-2-1 record. They lost in overtime to Boston. That's their own. That's why they get the overtime loss. 2 losses and then 1 win. The only win they've had was, I believe, against was it Utah? I think Utah. They won against Utah recently. I think that was their last game. St. Louis, in their home opener, lost 5-0 to Minnesota. They've won 2 straight, and to be honest, both of these teams, like a step. The St. Louis Blues have a better roster, but do you think they can make playoffs again? They barely made it last year. Do you think they make it again?
Well, I mean, it genuinely does depend on what they can accomplish on offense. Mm-hmm. They lost versus Minnesota 5-0, which really wasn't a very, very flattering moment for them. They redeemed themselves versus Calgary, and then they beat the Canucks.
Yeah, they beat the Canucks.
That was their home. That was a bad showing. And then they beat the Canucks, which is, I don't know if that's good, but I think that's pretty good. The Canucks made the playoffs last year, if I'm not mistaken.
It was the year before that. They missed the playoffs last year.
Oh, whatever. They were first in their division, and then they lost to others. Who, guess what? Lost to the Kitties.
Well, the Blues, remember that historic Game 7 against the Jets. They collapsed in that Game 7. They were up 3-1, and with like 2 minutes left in regulation, Jets get 2. The late goal was with 1.7 left on the clock, and the Jets won in double overtime to move on against Dallas, which Dallas beat them in 6 in that second round series. They had a collapse basically there, and well, what do we expect in this one? This rivalry has lasted for a long time. They haven't played in the playoffs forever, but this rivalry has lasted a long time though. What do we expect in this one?
Well, this rivalry has lasted a long time, but you know what has lasted a little bit longer? The Blues' winning streak against the Blackhawks. Mm-hmm. In their last 5 games, the Blues have beaten the Blackhawks by a total of 14 goals.
Wow.
This is dating back to December of 2023, and their last loss coming 14 days prior, a 3-1 loss in Chicago.
Wow. And
so,
go ahead.
I would think just off that momentum, they know how Chicago plays. And in the past 10 games since 2022, Chicago hasn't been that very good. Mm-hmm. So I think St. Louis can take this game with ease if they just play like they have been playing.
And Chicago's going to have to do this one without their captain, Nick Foligno. He is out. He's going to have a leave of absence because his daughter is undergoing surgery related to her congenital heart disease, and his daughter is 12, and we wish the best for his daughter there, as she's going to have a follow-up surgery on that and her heart disease. Hopefully that gets taken care of, and hopefully a good recovery for her. And the Blackhawks are going to have to face this St. Louis team without their captain. So we are close to getting the puck dropped here in St. Louis. They're still doing the post game of the Red Wings Panthers game. I still can't believe YouTube actually went down. Like, I don't think I've ever seen YouTube go down ever. I've never seen it go down like that. It was just like, whoa. Wow. So if you're just joining us, there's a poll in the chat to see who's going to win this game, whatever you think is going to win this game. I'm pointing over here because the chat's over here. The Blues or the Blackhawks, what do you think? Who wins this game? We will see. As we'll send it over to the scorebug and get us into action here in St. Louis. As seems like we're going to get into the Enterprise Center for some game action as TNT's taking forever to show the dang game. Here we go. It's finally on.
I'm not going to lie. You don't look anything like what I thought you would look like. Not at all.
Ignoring that, Arvid Soderblom starting in net for Chicago. He's had one overtime loss. His 3.92 goals against average, 879 save percentage, no shutouts this season. Joel Hofer is starting in net instead of Jordan Bennington. He's 1-0 to start the season. 2.00 goals against average. We're underway here in St. Louis. A 931 save percentage and no shutouts for him. We're underway as it's played off the wall there. As the Blackhawks are going to run a 11-7, where they're going to play 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. Cleared out of the zone by Colton Dach, but the Blues hold it in. Buchnevich off the wall. Robert Thomas trying to get it. Buchnevich tried to center it. That's intercepted along the wall. And Sam Renzel gets it out to center ice. So the top line for the Blackhawks on the ice: Burakovsky, Bedard, and Colton Dach. Parayko passing into the middle. Onside they are as it goes around the boards. And Mikheyev tried to play it off the wall. Holloway was pressuring. Dickinson will move it ahead through the middle. And Donato couldn't get to the loose puck. Kyrou enters in with Holloway. Holloway along the boards, pressured by Dickinson. Dickinson picks up the puck, and he'll clear it out of the zone. More than a minute in. What do you think of this new St. Louis logo and their new jerseys?
Looks too much like the Jazz. Do you see that resemblance, kind of?
I do see it, yeah. My brother said it looks like the Blues logo went on a diet and slimmed. Which basically what the logo did. That's what the logo basically did. They just slimmed. They just made it skinnier. Up to the line, a shot, deflects towards the net, out of play. And we get our first whistle of the game, a minute and a half in. And
it just looks the exact same. They just lightened up the blue.
Mm-hmm. And like the yellow, made it like highlighter yellow. Chicago had new Centennial jerseys because this is their 100th year in the league. And it just looks like the regular jerseys with just some gold on the numbers. It was very disappointing to see. They didn't really make any of a difference in the jerseys. Face-off won here by the Blues, and Broberg will get it out to center ice. And a race for the puck here. Played off the wall by Grzelcyk. Nazar will clear it. A drop pass as it's moved ahead here. Shot in by Levshinov. Played off the wall by Hofer. And cleared out of the zone by Hofer. Matt Grzelcyk will go back. 4 points in the standings for the young season of the Blues. 3 points for the Blackhawks. Levshinov waiting. Deflects back into the zone. Reichel. And then Mayu will move it ahead. Shot back in by Texier, who's trying to get to the loose puck. Murphy poked it away as it moved along the wall. Texier trying to get it in front. Cleared out of the zone as Parayko could not hold it in. Parayko gets it again from the pass and moved ahead here through the middle. Shot back in by Walker at the blue line. 2.5 minutes in. And if you're wondering what a crazy game it was in Buffalo, 8-4 final score in favor of the Sabres against the Senators. One-timer by Parayko was blocked. That's a crazy finish to that game. Fowler, and now it's Parayko trying to send it in deep. Walker will get it in the corner. Pressure here by the Blues. Shots are 1-0 in favor of the Blackhawks, and Vlasic will have it behind his own net. Apparently, Buffalo has offense against the Senators. 8-4, your final in Buffalo. Turnover, shot, score! Hofer gave it back in front of the net, and the Blackhawks have the lead. What a terrible turnover by Hofer.
I mean, that's a great pass, just to the wrong team. I mean, you couldn't have set that up more perfectly. That looked like an alley-oop.
Tape to tape. Wow. Basically a freebie. And Mikheyev scores the goal, and it's 1-0 Chicago. Wow. Well,
that's
something.
a pity point.
That's one way to get on the board. And so Chicago, with basically the freest goal you will ever see, has made it 1-0. Hofer again almost passed it back to the Blackhawks. And now on the second shot, Mikheyev will move it back in, a drop pass. Onside, they dump it back into the corner. Dickinson trying to get it. Wow, what a weird one. Just out of nowhere that happened. Hofer just trying to, I guess, stretch it to the middle of the ice. And he instead gets the pass picked off, and Mikheyev's made it 1-0. You rarely see that nowadays. You see that on some old hockey highlights. Oh my goodness, Hofer almost gave it away again. Wow.
He's got to calm down. I mean, it gets to a point where you got to either bench him for a bit or just take a timeout.
Mm-hmm. Vlasic will move it ahead onside. Here's Bedard. Connor Bedard looking. Along the wall, Vlasic will send it in deep behind the net. It's Doc. He lost the puck. Burakovsky gets it behind the net, looking to center one. Vlasic gets it to the point. Bedard trying to give it back to Vlasic along the boards. It goes into the corner where the Blues regain possession and moved ahead through the middle. On a 2-on-1 here, Neighbors pass it across, shot. Oh, what a save! Rebound in front, score! Blues tie it up. Jake Neighbors has tied the game at 1. And that's the first legitimate goal of the game. The pass. Oh, wow.
That was a great rebound for the Blues. Came right off the blocker and back into the middle.
Just like a rebound in front. Neighbors able to put it home as Soderblom was down. That's the first shot for the Blues, I think. And
1 for 1.
And we have 2 goals basically in the first 4.5 minutes of the game. This is starting to look like that second period against the Boston and then Tampa game that we did not too long ago. We're going to have another 5-goal period again. Well, to anyone that's complaining in the Central Time where it's 9 o'clock in St. Louis, I don't think anyone's going to complain now. Because now they've waken up. There's 2 goals already in not even 5 minutes into the game. Held in the zone, though, and it's a 3-on-1 now for the Blues. Snuggerud, great move, shot, and the blocked shot right in front of the net. Blues were looking to take the lead right there. Snuggerud gets it again. And he'll backhand it back into the Blackhawks zone. First goal by Mikheyev made it 1-0 on a giveaway by Hofer. And then Jake Neighbors, his 4th of the season. Parayko and Buchnevich with the assist. Scores! Hofer lets in another one that's bad, and it's 2-1.
That was the weirdest shot angle I've ever seen.
Wow. Reichel
Near
scores.
side?
Wow. And that's another one where Hofer, yeah, I don't know if you want to keep Hofer in the game after those 2 goals. You might want to go to Bennington at this point.
He just snuck by.
Wow.
Hofer thought it was going straight for his shoulder.
Wow. So 2 goals on 4 shots. Hofer's still in the game. Jim Montgomery has left him in the game, but 2 of the weirdest goals that Chicago has had in this season, this young season, they have the lead once again. Up to the line, Falk. I'm not going to be surprised if St. Louis ties it here on this next shift because that's how this game is looking like so far. Out in front, save! Rebound was in front. No breathing room in this one. Walker will rim it all the way around for Falk along the wall. Pressured. Falk on the backhand and wide open pass. Tucker will rim it all the way around. Intercepted along the wall. And it is Kaiser who will look to clear it. Moved ahead, Doc. And it is dumped back in. Wow. We have seen a crazy one here. 3 goals. We're not even 7 minutes in. Do you think if Hofer lets in another one of those weird goals, you think Hofer's out of the game?
It depends on like the severity of the goal. If it's another one of those easy saves, he goes high and the puck goes low, I think you take him out. If it's a bad bounce or just a tough play like a middle crowd, I think you keep him in. That's just tough to save.
Wow. Broberg will move it ahead. Blues try to enter in on a 3-on-2. That gets disrupted at the line. And Donato clears it. And the Blues get possession once again. Broberg passed it. They'll go for a line change as here comes some speed from Robert Thomas looking to center one. Great backhand pass. Parayko shoots and it was blocked in front. Here's Connor Bedard. Potentially a 3-on-1 for the Blackhawks. Here's Donato. Or pardon me, it was Sam Rinzel. And now a 2-on-1 for the Blues. Here's Thomas. He shoots and he missed the net. On a 2-on-1, Robert Thomas just misses the net completely. Thomas is back in again on the entry. He'll drop it off to the point for Parayko. He shoots, and it's blocked in front. Rebound shot through the crease and wide. Battle along the boards. This game has had a lot in the first 8 minutes. Back to the line again. Up high, looking. Down low, Parayko was trying to get the pass from Buchnevich. Cleared out of the zone. Here's Bedard on a breakaway. Connor Bedard's in. He shoots and he's stopped by Hofer. The puck's sitting there and it's stopped. Hofer did not know where that puck was until someone pointed towards it and Hofer covered it. Crazy game here in St. Louis. Hofer's let up some goals that he shouldn't let up. 2-1 Chicago. That goal is the difference right now. Lucas Reichel with the difference in the game. 2-1. We'll be back. Unless Aaron wants to do baseball coverage.
I think I'll do that. All right. ALCS game number 3. The Blue Jays have just broken this game open. 4 consecutive scoring innings, including 4 runs in the 6th. It is 12-2. Blue Jays in the bottom of the 6th. Let's jump over to college football. We got some prime time CUSA action. No action on a Wednesday, which is very shocking. Jacksonville State up 38-12 on Delaware, which is an upset in the making because Delaware started this season off very hot, 3-1. And UTEP up 28-17 on Sam Houston State. Odom with a 20-yard reception from Locklear with 7:05 in the 4th. Take it over to NBA, and Tillman has just walked off the Toronto Raptors 110-108. Although it's preseason, that's a pretty big moment for him. Upcoming games in the college football world. Tulsa plays Eastern Carolina tomorrow night at 7:30 in the AAC. Friday night lights. Number 2 Miami taking on Louisville in Hard Rock Stadium. Miami favored by 13.5.
We're back, everybody, as that was Robert Thomas's shot on a 2-on-1. Thank you for that baseball update in college football as well. Bedard, look at this shot. Hofer's not on his game right now. Hofer was having that puck sit there. It went off his mask, and it was in the crease for a solid 2 seconds. Face-off one here. He's been shaky to start the game. The shots are 5-4 St. Louis. Shot from the line, and Bertuzzi almost got the deflection on it, trying to go for another short side goal. Couldn't get it in. Broberg will move it ahead. Tipped off the stick there. And it is cleared out the zone. Here's a break. Bertuzzi's in. He shoots, and a stop by Hofer. A big save. That's his first big save of the night. That confidence now for Hofer now. That's a big save after you let those 2 goals. Bertuzzi. And now Donato was trying to get it. Falk now with the puck. Snuggerud has it. Mayu will get it back. Has it behind the net. Shots are even at 5 in the game, but it's a 2-1 lead for Chicago. Deflected. No. Out of play. Tyler Bertuzzi was on a breakaway. How big is that save there for Hofer, Aaron?
The one that was bouncing in front of the net?
Or no, the breakaway
That's
right
a pretty
now by
big
Bertuzzi.
save. Oh, that one is a redemption. I think that if that one goes in, take him out of the game. 3-1 in 10 minutes. It's a pretty bad start, and your backup will more than likely do better.
Tyler Bertuzzi's played for 4 of the 6 original 6 teams in the NHL. Played for Detroit, Toronto, Chicago. Yeah, I forgot the last one, but but he's played for 4 of the 6. As it's moved around by the Blues, Parayko's shot save made off the pad of Soderblom. Along the wall, it is fought for. Comes free by Cam Fowler. As Dunga along the wall, loose, continuing to fight for the puck still. Texier trying to get it free. Bukestad in the pile as well. It's still along the wall. It finally comes free. Chicago looking to clear it as Grzelcyk does. Here's Fowler as both the teams will go for a change. We're halfway through the period, and it's a 2-1 lead for the Chicago Blackhawks. Dumped back in by Kyrou, but not deep enough as Dickinson will move it ahead. Almost too many men there for St. Louis. Here is Kyrou on the far wing. Has it along the boards. Pressured by Kaiser. On the back check, Kaiser gets the puck from him. And here come the Blackhawks. Potentially a 4-on-2. Dickinson's pass is intercepted. Out to center, and Kaiser leaves it. And now the Blues are back in. Holloway tries to center one to Kyrou. Couldn't go. Mikheyev pushed off the puck there. Holloway trying to center one, and it goes out of the reach there. Here's Donato the other way. At center. He falls down. Trying to dump the puck. What is this game? What is this game so far? 2 weird goals. And this game is this crazy right now. Robert Thomas will dump it back in. And Rinzel plays it off the wall. Nazar trying to clear it. Vlasic. Then Donato missed the puck. Teravainen clears it out to center. Race for the puck here is Nazar. Mayu will play it along the wall. And sent down the length of the ice for an icing on St. Louis. Thoughts on the game so far?
What's defense?
Jim Montgomery.
I mean,
Go ahead.
Hofer's three saves on 5 shots. The dude has negative 5.6 fantasy points. I don't know how much worse it can get. He is also the same guy that let up 5 goals versus the Stars and stayed in the game. So I'm pretty much saying he's staying in the game no matter what happens.
Well, we'll see. Here is Mayu. Moving it ahead and see if St. Louis can tie this game up at 2. They've looked like the better team here, in my opinion, St. Louis. But Chicago has been able to convert on some misplays that the Blues have had in their own zone and by their own goaltender. What do you think?
Well, St. Louis -1 soon to be not St. Louiser looks pretty good. I think we can all tell who that one soon-to-be not blue is.
Vlasic. Ramirez, you just start Bennington for every single game. Here's Rinzel cutting in. Rinzel to the net. He stopped. Hofer makes a huge save again. Rinzel, another chance. He stopped again. And then the centering pass by Rinzel. It comes back out the center. Grizzly will shoot it back in. That Hofer stop on a breakaway by Bertuzzi might have fueled him to be better. That one, no icing. Soderblom plays it. Grizzly will get it behind his own net. Nazar with the puck now. Will move it ahead. That's intercepted. Shot back in by Murphy. Played off the wall by Hofer. And another interception at center ice. Dickinson shot over the net. And held in the zone by the Blackhawks as they continue to cycle the puck around. Texier was trying to get it. And played off the wall and by Crevier. Here's Kaiser moving it ahead. Kaiser shoots one, save made by the glove of Hofer. And we get a stoppage with 7:01 to go. Back to baseball.
This is cool. It's still 12-2.
Wow.
Nothing much.
The Blue Jays.
NBA, the Clippers and Kings just kicked off. The new King, Russell Westbrook, partnering with Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis. Cannot wait to see how much that will work out for him. But I also do feel, for whoever traded him, I actually don't know where he was at.
Yeah, NBA.
I think he was a free agent. He just got signed. He didn't get released.
An NBA on NBC's back.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't think TNT carries NBA anymore. I think it's
He was on the Nuggets.
because they moved inside the NBA to ESPN now. I think.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know about
And
that.
good news for all the Delaware fans in the chat. Ellison Jr. just scored a 2-yard rushing touchdown to cut the lead to 19 with less than 10 to play.
We've peaked
And
6 viewers.
Emery for you. Oh, sweet. And Emery for UTEP, 34-yard touchdown run to give him 34. Double the points of Sam Houston State. It's 34-17 with 5:54 left. Hey, and the Flames scored. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Mammoth game.
Yeah, Mammoth. Woo!
Will they make the playoffs?
Home
Probably
opener.
not.
No. Utah hockey team forever.
Utah Hockey Club. Everyone will remember that name. Oh, look at this flashback. Wow. That was an open net right there by Quick. Quick that's an overtime goal in a playoff game. 2013. For Blues fans, you know what I'm talking about.
Hockey existed in 2013? Ha! Get it? Because I didn't watch 2013.
Well, there's some St. Louis alumni right there, I think. There's Alexander Steen, Barrett Jackman, and Al Arbor. The Hall of Fame class of 2026 for the St. Louis Blues. I believe it was Alexander Steen who scored that game winner. Here's Thomas moving it ahead, leaving it in the middle for Buchnevich, trying to pass it for Neighbors, and he couldn't go. Neighbors was trying to get his second of the game. Here's Frank Nazar on a 3-on-2 for the Blackhawks. Misplays the pass, and Broberg will clear it out of the zone. Buchnevich, a drop pass for Thomas. Now here's Neighbors again. Neighbors, drop pass. Mayu, waiting, shoots! Wide of the net. Out of the zone it goes with 6.5 to go in the first. Hofer plays it. Mayu, great pass there. Broberg back into the zone along the boards, pressured. Will backhand it around. And it is Pius Suter, who was in Vancouver last year, came to St. Louis this year. I think Ryan Suter retired last year. Bedard moving it ahead. Here's Doc, save, rebound. Was in front of the net. Moved ahead, Suter. And Crevier will rim it all the way around out to center. Cam Fowler playing it out to center ice. Doc will play it back. Vlasic will get it. Drop pass there for Rinzel. Back in, Burakovsky. Burakovsky trying to get the puck back off the pass from Doc, and he couldn't. Snuggerud clears it. Burakovsky gets it again with 5.5 to go. Here is Grzelcyk shooting it back in. Off the wall. Played by the goaltender. Parayko will move it ahead. Snuggerud try to move it ahead, and it's dumped back in. Grzelcyk will get it again. 5:15 left to go. And that pass is intercepted at center. Here's Kyrou moving it ahead for St. Louis. Kyrou passing it across. Shot. Scores! Tie game. Dylan Holloway. What a shot from the circle, and we're tied at 2. What do you think of that?
5-on-3, and he still got that flap off.
Wow. Nice shot by Holloway. We're tied at 2. Dylan Holloway, his 36th career goal, and he's made it a tie game here in St. Louis with 5 minutes to go. Falk will clear it out to center. We're almost tying our record with most periods we've ever commentated in a period on NHL and MHS. We have 4 right now. The last game was 5. The last game was 5. Here's Donato back in, passing it across. Shot, saved by Hofer. And off the wall, Mikheyev. Donato trying to center one. Blackhawks going for their 3rd lead. Kaiser, they have the puck in the offensive zone. He's pressured by 2. Kyrou trying to get out of the zone. Mikheyev holding it in, and then now Kyrou will move it ahead. Kyrou assisted on that goal by Dylan Holloway. Rinzel gets leveled by Holloway. What a hit. Dickinson will clear it. What a hit. That's an insane hit by Dylan Holloway. Grzelcyk. Levshinov clears it out to center. St. Louis looking to get the puck back. Here's Levshinov. And drop pass here. Levshinov has it. Shot. Blocked in front of the net. Teravainen gets it again with 3:45 to go. Passing it across. Grzelcyk has it in the circle. Rimmed it all the way around once again for Teravainen along the boards. Bertuzzi's out there. Nazar. And moved ahead here by the Blues. Texier, the 4th line out there for St. Louis. Got it poke checked away and regained possession by the Blackhawks. That's Holloway's 1st of the season. Kyrou with the assist. No secondary assists, so it's a 2-2 tie here in St. Louis. Blues have had to come back twice in this opening period to level the game. Parayko has the puck, moves it in the middle. Cam Fowler got through a check from Doc, and a 3-on-3 crossing the line. Fowler waiting, still looking in the circle. Cam Fowler, some room, he shoots, and a save. Rebound in front, save made. With 2:49 to go, Cam Fowler with 2 opportunities. The score is 2-2 here in St. Louis. And look at that hit by Dylan Holloway on Rinzel. Boom. He got him good. We're tied at 2. Wow. What do you think of that hit? That was an insane hit.
You got decked.
Insane hit. So the scoring in the game. Let's go over the goals here. Mikheyev with the first one, I think. He was the first goal scorer. And then it was, I believe, Neighbors' first line out there for St. Louis, tying the game up at 1. And then, who was it for the? I think it might have been it was Reichel to make it 2-1. And then just moments earlier, Dylan Holloway has tied the game up at 2 and then delivered that huge hit on Rinzel, one of the defensemen for the Chicago Blackhawks, to level this game at 2. And this has been an insane one here in St. Louis. It's probably the longest first period. This period started at 8:52 And now it's 9:21. So this period's been a little bit, almost 30 minutes, because we've had so many goals in this one. 2-2 tie here in St. Louis if you're just joining us. A late start in the Enterprise Center. Division rivalry matchup in the Central Division. Blues and Blackhawks. Joining alongside Aaron, I'm Max, and thoughts on the game?
Very, very offensive.
I feel like we've been saying that for the past 2 games we've covered.
Yeah, that is very true. We've covered the most chaotic first or any periods of all time. Multiple goals, 3+ in at least one period in those games.
In the past 4 periods we've commentated, and this is for the moment right now, we have commentated 11 goals.
Wow.
2 in the first period of the Boston game, 5 in the Boston game as well, none in the third period in that one, and now on 4 in this one. So in the past 4 periods, if we still don't get any goals in this one, we'll see. Neighbors, because we could have another 2 here in this opening period with the pace it's going right now. A drop pass, Dickinson will dump it back in. So he's picked some good games, I guess, offensively. To commentate as it's moved ahead here. St. Louis looking to take the lead for the first time tonight. Tucker along the wall. Falk. Tucker again. Tied up along the boards. Fought for. Loose. Thomas gets it free. Here's Neighbors again. Waiting. Drops it off. Here's Thomas waiting at the blue line. Buchnevich. Now Falk will send it in deep. Buchnevich. Intercepted by Vlasic. Moved ahead by Donato. He gets hooked, and a penalty upcoming, I think, and it is a penalty on St. Louis and a power play for Chicago with 1:53 left in the period. So Chicago will go to the power play. That was a clear hook right there by Jake Neighbors. And so Chicago's power play has not been the best. They're 20th ranked in the league with a 15.4% effectiveness. The penalty kill for the Blues, 18th ranked with a 80% effectiveness. So we'll see if the Blackhawks basically have this whole period to try to take the lead back. So a 5-on-4 power play for Chicago. Bedard could not hold it in. He gets taken down. Was that another penalty? No, it isn't. Nazar will shoot it back in. The Blackhawks are 2 for 13 on the power play. The penalty kill for the Blues, 8 for 10. Along the wall, it is loose. Bertuzzi trying to get it free. Nazar will fish it free. Teravainen, and then Suter tied him up, and it's cleared down length of the ice. A tripping call, they say, on Jake Neighbors. Not a hooking. It was a tripping. Looked more like a hook to me, though. Rinzel will drop it off, though. And Bedard will move it ahead. See if Connor Bedard has some magic here in this game. He hasn't even been on the score sheet yet. Cleared off the boards, and Bertuzzi looked to hold it in. They do. Bedard down low. Hofer makes the save. A little bit of a whack there, and Bedard and Tucker stare face to face after the whistle with a minute left to go. (9-7) the shots favoring Chicago. 16 combined shots in the game, and we've already had 4 goals. I think goaltending and defense is optional in this one.
That's what we said about the Tampa
Boston,
Bay
yeah.
versus Boston one.
Mm-hmm. What do you think Chicago needs to do on this power play?
Score. Well, you take a lead into the first, or you take a lead in the first intermission. That's pretty big.
Levshinov looking, passing it. Burakovsky down low. Bedard back to Burakovsky again. Burakovsky looking. Passed it. Shot. Oh, what a save, Hofer. Right in the slot. Doc was denied. And out to center it goes. 40 seconds to go. Hofer made a big save there. Or might have just went wide. Couldn't even tell right there. It was such a quick shot and quick release. There's 30 seconds left on the clock here in the first period. Burakovsky slicing in. And a patient play there by Donato. Sending it deep into the corner. Burakovsky will get it along the wall. Doc deflected it up high. Shot wide of the net. Burakovsky with 15 to go. Up high for Doc. Across for the one-timer. Now he fanned on it. Shot! Save made off the blocker. 8 seconds left in the period. That pass is intercepted by Thomas, and it's cleared down the length of the ice. That'll end the first period. Tied at 2. There'll still be 7 seconds of a power play for Chicago. What a period. Wow. So, a tie game at 2. When we come back, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll come back with Aaron's go over of baseball stuff. What's his predictions for the MLB stuff and all that stuff, the playoffs. We'll go over those series in the NLCs and the ALCs. We'll go over the goals because we had 4 in this period. And yeah, we'll find stuff to talk about for the intermission report. We'll be back in just a moment. We're back, everybody, and our intermission report in a wild first period. 2-2 tie. In a period where we really didn't expect that much scoring. And 2-2. 4:41 left to go in the first intermission. Power play for 7 seconds when we return to Chicago. Mikheyev, what went wrong on the first goal for Chicago? What went wrong for St. Louis on that goal?
Well, I don't think you're supposed to pass to the team that's wearing red.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about the Blues' first goal, that was just a great shot.
Yep. The second goal, or first goal for the Blues to tie up the game, was a great play. Both the Blues goals have been nice shots or great plays. Both the Blackhawks goals have been questionable by Hofer. Great playing in front of the net. Neighbors puts it in. Parayko and Buchnevich with the assists. Tie game at 1, a minute and 27 seconds after the first goal of Mikheyev. And then Reichel, seconds later, almost 30 seconds later, 27 seconds later. What went wrong here again? We were going over the goal from the last goal by the Blues, and then just a quick shot beats Hofer.
He misjudged it. I think he thought that it was going higher than it was. Thought it was going to bounce. He put his shoulder into the post, and it went right underneath him.
Mm-hmm. He was trying to cover that short side, but he didn't cover all of it, and didn't seal off the post. Grizzlick with the assist on that one. Reichel's first of the season, and there was a 2-1 lead for Chicago, and then some time passed because there was a lot of goals all at once, basically. It's like 2 minutes and like 21 seconds worth of goals between all those 3 goals. And then at 14:54, a tie game by Holloway. This was a nice rush by St. Louis. Great play by Kyrou to pass it to Holloway on the far circle. Shoots it in on the top corner. And we're tied at 2. It was a nice shot there. Wouldn't you agree?
I would.
Kyrou with the assist, his second of the season. Holloway with his first of the season. And we are tied at 2, but there's still 7 seconds of a power play for Chicago. I don't think it's going to amount to anything, because when have you ever seen a power play with 7 seconds left convert in the second period? I will bite my words if that actually happens. If Chicago converts on the power play with 7 seconds left, that's going to be crazy.
All right, let me give you a quick baseball update. Randy Arozarena goes deep to left center, 396. And Cal Raleigh hits number 63, 337-foot home run to right. Only goes out in 8 ballparks. Scores 12-4.
Wow.
You could call it a Chris Paul play, but I don't care. The Mariners are up 2-0.
So it seems like the Blue Jays may be tying up that series. Or not tying up that series, making it 2-1. And I saw a video on Twitter. Where this one lady was going to call ice on one of these Brewers fans because he was trolling the Yankees.
The Yankees?
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Oh, Yankees fans, you never fail to amuse me.
Or the Dodgers? I forgot.
Yankees lose.
Yankees. Stats after the first period: 10-7, favoring Chicago in the shots on goal. Faceoffs favoring St. Louis. 54% of them have gone to St. Louis. Only 1 power play has not been converted on. 12-4 the hits. Did you remember that hit by Holloway after his goal on Renzel? That was a very nice hit.
Got absolutely leveled at that corner.
4-3 the block shots favoring St. Louis. 10-4 the giveaways favoring Chicago. The takeaway 6-0 favoring Chicago. These two teams meet again on December 12th, January 7th, and April 11th. So the next matchup will be here in Enterprise Center, and then the next 2 will be at United Center. So interesting to note on that. I don't know if it's going to be as entertaining as this matchup has been tonight. It's been a very entertaining game so far. We'll see if the second period brings that energy. Maybe not, because we had that same talk or whatever where we said it's going to be like the most boring period after we said it was like the 5-goal period. So,
okay, this is going to be the most entertaining period. This is going to have so much action in it. Am I right?
Yep. So much action. That'll conclude our intermission report. We'll go back to the scoreboard as it seems like we are about to be back here for the second period of play. As we welcome you back. If you're just tuning in with us, I'm Max, he's Aaron, and I know one of my friends is watching, and his name's Zach. And you better say hi in chat or vote. Oh, I heard myself.
What was that noise?
Yeah, my speaker where the goal horn comes out. Because I have the goal horn on the streams or whatever. Oh. So a tie game at 2. What do you think? Who do you think has the advantage here going into the second period?
I would say there's still some momentum for St. Louis after tying the game up. I would say, although they're on a shorthanded, it's for 7 seconds. Nothing's gonna happen.
These past 4 periods have really shown me something. So that, I mean, we've seen a bunch of stuff happen. It's crazy. We've seen quick goals. We've seen bad plays by goalies, mostly in this game. Both the Chicago goals are just bad plays by Hofer. It seems like Hofer has redeemed himself, though, moving forward after those 2 goals. Wouldn't you think?
I would say he redeemed himself. There's a couple fast break saves that he had to make that he did make. It was a very redeeming moment.
That one on Tyler Bertuzzi on a breakaway. It was on a breakaway all alone in front of the net, and my stream is glitching at the worst time. Oh wait, now it's back. Okay, we're good. I don't know why I was singing that.
We're going down again.
No, we're not going down to get out of YouTube. It was tweaking earlier, so I don't know what was up with YouTube earlier in the day. We tried to stream Detroit, Florida earlier on. This is the 398th matchup between these two teams. Chicago leads 160 to 7. St. Louis 16-2-2 in the last 20 games, including playoffs. The last time these two teams matched off in a playoff series was in 2016. St. Louis won that series in 7. Power play. Oh my goodness, another ricochet off the boards and almost an open net for the Blues. Wow. Here's Bedard moving it in. Connor Bedard gets it in the corner. Kaiser was trying to get it back. Or pardon me, Doc was trying to get it back. Parayko will move it ahead. Here come the Blues. Fowler has it at center. Try to pass it. Dropped off for Neighbors. Here's Buchnevich looking to center one. Thomas is out of the reach. Bedard will get it now. Bedard surveying his options. Dumps it back in. And then Bedard gets leveled by Neighbors.
Ooh, what a hit.
Robert Thomas now to Neighbors, passing it across shot. Oh, what a save! What a save! Soderblom in the first minute of the period. Donato avoids a hit. What a passing play there by the Blues, robbed by the glove. A big hit and a great save. Wow. What a way to start a period. Mikheyev passing it behind the net. Donato was trying to stuff it in. Dickinson will get it back to the point. Rimmed all the way around by Grzelcyk. Donato has it behind the net on his backhand. Dickinson moves it around for Kaiser at the point. Up high at the blue line. Fanned on the shot. And he has to get it back at center ice. Chicago will go for a change. Dickinson will dump it back in. Kaiser will try to get it. Hofer out to play it. Falk will get it now. What a save by Soderblom on that last rush by the Blues. Great save there. That was unbelievable. We'll see if we get a replay of that when we get our next stoppage in play. It was a great save. Grzelcyk, turnover, out in front, and Teravainen will clear it out in a 2-on-1 potentially. Or no, it's not. It is a Mailu who gets the puck. And it's Holloway now, the latest goal scorer in the game. Dumped back in by the Blues. An icing on St. Louis. Let's see that save again. Let's see the hit in probably the... Look at this save right here. Kyrou robbed. What a save by Arvid Soderblom. And then Donato faking Tucker and pushed him onto the glass. Face-off one here. Here's Levshinov. He has it up high. Shot. Blocked in front. Snuggerud trying to get it out of the zone. He will. Kyrou was trying to get it. Or pardon me, Suter. Pius Suter gets it now along the boards. Snuggerud and Joseph out there with him. Moved ahead here by Vlasic. Dumped back in. Hofer out to play it. Bedard's out there now. Knocked down as played off the wall. So far, what are your thoughts on this second period?
The second period's been very lax. It's a stark opposite of
Shot
everything
score!
that's happened. Well, there it is. Okay, never mind.
It is 3-2
I
Chicago.
said St. Louis had momentum.
Reichel with his second.
Hofer. You gotta watch out for the posts, big dog.
Wow. Bedard, the pass from behind the net, feeding it, and it deflected. Reichel, that was a great touch play there. And it is 3-2 Chicago. And Chicago, for the third time in the game, have the lead. Bedard with a great play behind the net, though. What a pass. And so Chicago gets their third lead of the game. They've all been one-goal leads. See if St. Louis will be able to tie it up. St. Louis was this close to getting a 3-2 lead. Was stopped by the Chicago goaltender Soderblom with a great stop. The best save of the night. Here's a 2-on-1 potentially. Dickinson on the rush with Donato. Donato shoots it. Save. Hofer. Almost made it 4-2. Held in by Donato. Dropped it off. Rinzel. Drag shoots. Save made. Here's Mikheyev's shot. Save made again. Rinzel. Passing it down low. Dickinson in front. Couldn't get the deflection. Here's Mikheyev. Pressured by the Blackhawks. Dickinson shot. Wide of the net on the one-timer in the slot. Rinzel trying to feed it in front. It is cleared to the line, not out. Blues will get it back, though. Looked like a high stick there and no penalty. Vlasic. So it's 3-2 Chicago. Aaron thought there was nothing happening here, and then the goal was scored right there. Shot was blocked in front by Teravainen. That's some crazy timing, Aaron. Fowler will move it ahead. Here's Buchnevich trying to feed it for Neighbors. Vlasic will have it now. Trying to play it off the wall. St. Louis will hold it in, and it deflects out of play with 15:46 to go in the second. What timing there, Aaron? You had some great timing. Said nothing was going on in the period, and then the goal by Reichel happened right there. See this Rinzel shot again. Did this hit the post? No. Great save there. Aaron, thoughts on the period? Again? We'll probably see another goal if you say your thoughts. It is cleared out to center. Reichel with his second of the game. And Vlasic and Bedard with the assists. Kaiser will rim it all the way around. A drop pass here for Nazar. 2-on-2 crossing the line. Nazar scores! And in a fight right after the goal, and all chaos ensues after the 4-2 goal by Frank Nazar. What is happening in this game? Everyone fighting each other. Frank Nazar has made it 4-2. What chaos in this game? It's a good goal. Frank Nazar has made it 4-2 in a chaotic second period for the Blackhawks and the Blues. What is happening in this period? Are you seeing this, Aaron?
I don't quite like the reaction from the Blues players. It wasn't intentionally run into.
Yep, I was. Yeah, Hofer did not get run into complete. Neighbors just went at him, and then Mailu dropped the the gloves, dragged Teravainen like he's a dang doll. And
he didn't have 2 feet on the ground. He couldn't do anything about it.
Nazar with a nice goal, though.
Neighbors going at it like a WWE superstar.
That was a nice goal by Nazar, though. Sweet mitts right there. Glove side
I
goal.
think they're compensating for something.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a 2-goal deficit.
they're probably looking at the penalties that are after that play. Because, again, Neighbors win.
Goal and a power play.
Mayu dropped the gloves, so that might be instigating, potentially. And it's going to be a power play for Chicago right after they've made it 4-2. Neighbors for roughing.
Is instigating a real penalty?
Yep, they called it against the Stars in last night's Wild Stars game.
Are you serious?
Yep. I was there.
Instigating. Huh.
Back to the point. Here's Levshinov. It is a 4-2 lead now for Chicago. A great goal by Nazar, and then fights happen right after the goal. Doc, and then up high. Burakovsky played it across. Shot on the one-timer. Stopped. But on Donato's shot. And now it is a 4-2 lead. What's happened to the Blues here?
I think they're just collapsing. I think this might be the end.
If Chicago scores with this power play, this could be game over.
I think this is the end of Hofer's night. He gives up another goal. It's over.
Yeah,
He's 9 saved for 13 shots. And when I said it couldn't get any worse, he's at -9 fantasy points. So it did get worse.
He had a .931 save percentage coming into this game. He has now allowed 4 goals on 13 shots in this one. Hofer plays it behind the net, then playing it off the boards. It is held in by Bedard, but then moved ahead here. Shorthand is Robert Thomas. Moving it in on side on the backhand now. Switches to the forehand. Try to pass it for Buchnevich. Robert Thomas steals it away. Buchnevich to the goal. Delayed penalty upcoming to Chicago. We went 4-on-4 for 1:05, and then a St. Louis power play. Rinzel to the box. That's going to be slashing. So St. Louis forcing a shorthanded opportunity has kind of changed this game now. That's a big penalty to get there. Because if they get, there's going to be open room with 4-on-4. Obviously. So maybe St. Louis can get one here. They need something, obviously. They're down by 2. They got 1:05 of 4-on-4 and then 55 seconds if no other penalties happen for the Blues. A power play for the Blues with 55 if nothing else happens and is called. Face-off one here by the Blues and then stolen away by the Blackhawks. Look, a hook there and they don't call it. Holloway gets it behind the net and then played off the wall and moved ahead here. Here's Levshinov moving it ahead. 3-on-2, Cairo pressuring him from behind. Levshinov plays it across. Settled down by Bedard. Pressured by Cairo. Bedard with some room. What a move. Levshinov shot. Oh, what a save by Hofer. Bedard with some sick mitts right there. Race for the puck here, and Cairo was trying to get it. Kaiser playing it off the wall. Holloway trying to get to the loose puck. Bedard gets bullied there. Holloway gets it. Gets it in the corner with 25 to go on the 4-on-4. And then a St. Louis power play after that. Abbreviated one. Fowler sent it in deep. Holloway has it behind the net. Dylan Holloway looking. Up high again. Passing it across for Fowler. Cam Fowler up high. Pressured off the puck and out to the zone. Bedard will force it out. St. Louis power play now for 50 seconds. See if they can get something here, Aaron. Way out the net is Hofer. Oh, wow. Here's Buchnevich moving it ahead. Onside with 40 seconds left to go on the power play. And it's cleared to the line and out. What were you going to say before?
I think that St. Louis can get something, but like their defense is just abysmal. They're on Chicago's shorthanded and has kept the puck in the offensive zone for more than half that time.
Fowler will send it in deep. Snuggerud Playing it off the wall. Snuggarucho was trying to get it again. Here's Buchnevich with 10 seconds left to go. Plays it off the boards. Thomas sending it across. Shen shot falling down. Try to get it to the boards of the net front. Power play expiring here. Pass in front. Couldn't get the shot away. Cleared out to center, and the power play is over. St. Louis, I believe, only had one shot in this period. Chicago has come out with some offensive power, and they have a 2-goal lead because of it. And that deflects out of play with 12:15 left to go in the second period. 4-2 Chicago. The scoring has not stopped here at the Enterprise Center. 6 goals. And we're not even halfway through. Not at Aaron's sports talk.
Yay. My time. So in the baseball world, the ALCS Game 3 is pretty much over. The Blue Jays tack on another run. Barger hit his first home run of the first postseason. It didn't matter, but it's 13-4 Blue Jays. Bottom of the ninth. 1 out, runner on second for the Mariners. The Mammoth are up 2-1 here in the second period, just halfway through. 2 unanswered.
Oh, look
and
at Paterka's
the
goal.
Lakers and the Mavericks kick off there in the first quarter. The top scorers in that game, Gabe Vincent scoring 18 of the 28 Laker points in this first quarter. And for the Mavericks, it's a tie between Klay Thompson, Cooper Flagg, and Anthony Davis. They have 21. It's 30-21, 3:16 in the first. Clippers lead it 53-38. The top scorers in the game is Brooke Lopez with 12 points for the Clippers. And I want to say Zach LaVine for the Kings leading with 9.
Wow. So J.J. Paterka scored on that goal for the Mammoths. It was a great goal. It was a breakaway. He just speeds through 2 Calgary defenders and gets to Hofer's on the bench. Bennington is in now.
Oh, yay! They have a chance now.
Bennington 1-0 in this young season. 860 save percentage, no shutouts, a 3.50 goals against average. His career versus the Chicago Blackhawks, 11-2-1, and then 892 save percentage, 2 shutouts. And his goals against average is less than 3. So Jim Montgomery making the decision here, basically halfway through the game, try to give the Blues a chance. What do you think on that choice by Jim Montgomery? Behind the net, Holloway looking at center one. What do you think of that decision by Jim Montgomery to pull Hofer?
I think it was a great decision. Chicago scored 4 of their 14 shots, which usually you don't do unless you're a very good team playing the worst team. And even then, it's pretty rare. So I think it was a great decision to take out Hofer. He was looking a little exhausted. He made some good saves down the stretch, but it just wasn't enough.
Here come the Chicago Blackhawks. Bertuzzi passing it onside. On goal, stopped. First save for Bennington in the game is a big one. Reichel trying to go for his 3rd and a hat trick. Here's Donato, a shot. Save made. Rebound in front. It was Renzel. And it is cleared. Bennington with some big saves to start off the game for him. 2 shots on goal already. 16-8, the shots favoring Chicago. And they're up 4-2 in St. Louis. Here's Dickinson. Shot. Scores! Oh, my. That's a bad one there, and it's 5-2.
Yikes. It took him 3 shots to score, as opposed to the Blackhawks 2 on Hofer.
Wow. And that shot was... And then they went straight to Hofer, a camera angle of Hofer, and it just basically summed up the night with goaltending for the St. Louis Blues. That. Dickinson scores right there, and it's 5-2. 3 goals by the Chicago Blackhawks in this period. 3 unanswered. And now the shots are 17-8. I think the Blues have been stuck at 1 shot in this period. Bennington plays it. Almost another one of those turnovers in front of the net. He almost pulled a Hofer in the same night Hofer did it. Snuggerud gets it along the wall. St. Louis needs a goal here to stop the bleeding. They need to get the next goal here, St. Louis, regardless. Because if they don't, then Chicago has a 4-goal lead. Here's a hold in the zone. Here's Suter, shoots! He missed the net wide. That would have been big if they got that goal right there. It is cleared out of the zone by Chicago. Renzel was trying to get it. Or pardon me, Donato. Mikheyev will shoot it back in. Binnington plays it. Donato was trying to get it back. And what is going on with the goaltending in St. Louis here, Aaron? This has just been a disaster.
They just can't figure it out.
Cutting in again. Shot save made. They're just opening up. The defense has not been able to defend here in this second period for the Blues. Doc gets it again. To the line. Shot by Kaiser was blocked in front. Tucker will get it. Dickinson was his first of the season. Vlasic with the assist. And it is 5-2 Chicago here at Enterprise Center. 3 straight by Chicago here in the second period. Suter will shoot it back in. Playing it off the wall, Kaiser. Levshinov will have it. Do you think the Blues should get the next goal here to try to get back in this game?
I don't think they have any momentum at all. I think all is lost, and they just need that small piece. And it could be coming up right now.
That play is offside.
They just need a couple shots, and a couple good shots. Maybe a post hit or two. Anything that gets them a little bit closer to scoring at all is something that helps.
And back to Aaron's corner. But it's 5-2 Chicago. 3 straight goals. Now to Aaron.
Back to my corner? My corner?
Yeah, we're calling it Aaron's corner.
My corner. Yee-hoo. All right, so we are approaching a great time of the year. You know, March Madness, the Final Four. It's college basketball season. It kicks off November 3rd, and we'll see what the reigning champion Florida Gators can pull. They keep their backcourt, but all the guards are gone. Walter Clayton drafted to the Jazz. I'm excited to see what he can do. He's my GOAT.
Let's go over the scores in the National Hockey League today. 8-4 Sabres over the Senators. What? 8-4? You telling me the Sabres, a team that struggled to score, scored 8 tonight? What am I seeing on my screen here? 8-4. Did Tage Thompson score? And Tage Thompson didn't even score. Wow. Unbelievable. Mammoth are up 2-1 over the Flames. And the Red Wings beat the Panthers, the defending Stanley Cup champions, 4-1. Patrick Kane with a goal. Appleton with 2. Larkin with 2 assists. And Rasmussen with an empty net goal. Marchand was the only goal scorer in that one. It was a wraparound. Lundell with the assist. And then our game is crazy. 5-2. Our game is crazy right now. St. Louis has only 1 shot this period. Chicago has 8 shots this period. Can you believe that? 8-1 the shots favoring Chicago in this period. And for a team that's down 5-2, they need to get some offense here. Do you think they need like a timeout or something? Maybe this TV timeout helped them to think of a game plan? What do you think?
TV timeout might help.
They really need a break here. St. Louis. They need something. They need something to go their way. Because right now, they have not gotten anything. 9:15 to go. Whistle down here. I don't know what it was. Maybe an offside. Maybe a penalty. I think it was just an offside. Unless there was a penalty called on the play. I don't think there was, so I think it was just offside. Face-off won by the Blues. They're going to need something here. They only had 1 shot in this period. 2 goals by Reichel. He's on a hat-trick watch. We'll see if he can get it tonight. Here's Nazar. Scored that goal to make it 4-2. Onside Bertuzzi got stopped on a breakaway earlier on in the game. He could have made it 3-1 there, but right now it's not even a difference right now. It is 5-2. $8:55 left to go, but the time still remains at 9:15 for some reason on the TNT score bug. I think the timer's wrong.
Well, if you're St. Louis, you'll take all the time you can get, including the time that doesn't count.
Either that's a glitch by the actual arena staff. Okay, I think the clocks are synced to the. It is 9. It's at 9:15. Okay.
Hey, we'll take it. 0
Okay.
seconds elapsed.
Okay,
Seconds.
they're talking about it in the penalty boxes. The clock did not run for that whole play, so the clock should be around at 8:55. That's where we had it in our score bug. But apparently the arena staff did not start the clock when that puck dropped. And the clock on the stadium or the arena is synced with the score bug on the television broadcasts. So that's why they're having a little bit of a delay here. But I think if you're St. Louis, you need that delay right now. You could use it.
I mean, of all the jobs in any sports thing, I think the time and scoreboard has got to be the easiest.
So they're trying to figure out what time it should be when the play was blown dead. Or else they're going to have to play all that time back again. But if you're St. Louis, you might need that extra 30 seconds in this game. 5-2 Chicago. The time right now reads 9:15. But clearly it is not 9:15 left in this second period. There has to be less than 9 minutes in this one for sure. Off the face-off, one here, shot by Bertuzzi was blocked. Here's Joseph, moving it up the other way. 3-on-3, rimmed all the way around. Vlasic, Donato, or pardon me, it was Nazar's shot, save made. Broberg on the rebound, save made. First shot for St. Louis in quite a while. Two good opportunities by the Blues. Now they got 10 shots in the game. Centering pass, backhand by Suter was blocked in front by Vlasic. Broberg was trying to knock down the puck. Nazar was trying to get it. Shot back in by Renzel. 8:20 left to go in the second period. Bennington now in goal if he just tuned in with us. 4 allowed by Hofer. And now 1 goal allowed by Bennington on his first 3 shots of the game. Murphy flips it out to center. Blues are going to need a goal here to get out of this period potentially. Maybe even 2. They could use it. They need something though. Played out of the net. Soderblom. Buchnevich. Neighbors now. Back to the point. Shot from the line. Save made. With 7:49 to go. Now the Blues have had 3 shots after the delay on the clock.
He almost butchered that too. He got he got challenged there behind the net and almost gave it away.
Tomorrow, Oilers Islanders. Friday, Sharks Mammoth. Saturday, Seattle Toronto. And next Wednesday, Detroit Buffalo. Wow, what an intriguing matchup, Detroit and Buffalo. That's going to be a nationally televised game, too. Wow. That's interesting. That's a very interesting matchup to put on a nationally televised game. Face-off one here, and Thomas was trying to win it. And it is cleared by Kaiser out to center ice. Not enough for an icing. Tucker will get it with 7.5 minutes to go in the second period. 5-2, Chicago leading it. Played off the wall by Bennington. Tucker will get it. And he'll move it ahead. Deflected back in by St. Louis. It was a 2-2 tie entering this period, and now it is a 5-2 lead for Chicago. Dickinson will move it ahead. Onside, Dickinson dropping it off for Donato. Dropping it back again in front of the net. Shot! Levshinov missed it. Thomas was trying to get it. Donato behind the net. And another shot wide of the net by Grzelcyk. Moved ahead here by Thomas. St. Louis is going to need something here. 3-on-3 crossing the line. Thomas is in onside, trying to move it into the middle for Buchnevich. Thomas will get it again. He'll rim it all the way around for Fowler. Thomas gets it behind the net. Some tired skaters out there, Buchnevich and Thomas. Held in the line. Holloway has it behind the net. Holloway looking, trying to feed it in front for Buchnevich. It's still loose in the slot. Fighting for the puck still. Shen was trying to get it. Here's Fowler now. Fowler looking. Pressured. He'll get it back to the point. Fowler takes it himself. He shoots. It deflected off a body and goes into the corner. Bedard plays it off the wall for Kaiser. Playing it off the boards, and that was probably the best shift St. Louis has had in the offensive zone this period. Fowler will backhand it out to center. Playing it off the wall. Here comes Bedard. Great pass. Burakovsky across. That deflected. It almost made it 6-2. Here come the Blues the other way on transition. Onside. Here's Holloway. Waiting. Holloway circles behind the net. Tried to center one up to the point, but no one was there. It looked like a promising rush there for the Blues, and nothing developed. Shot back in by Walker. Walker will get it behind the net. Now in the corner. Fighting along the wall. Vlasic. Kyrou will get it. Playing it off the wall. Holloway up high. Shot. Goes into the netting and out of play with 5:16 left to go here in the second period of play. 5-2 Chicago. And take it away.
All right, hold the phone. In the basketball world, the Clippers and Kings are at the half. It's 60-40 Clippers. I don't even care who the top scorer is. That's a blowout. And Mavs Lakers, it's a tight game in the second quarter. 37-34. Lakers on top. 10 minutes left in that first half. That's all I got.
So in this one, we've had 3 straight goals by the Chicago Blackhawks. It was the Reichel got the first goal to make it 3-2 in this period. And then it was Nazar who got a goal to make it 4-2. And then he got hit, and there was a fight right after his goal. And then Hofer got pulled during a commercial break, came back, not even a minute later, basically. Dickinson scores to make it 5-2, and that's the latest goal we've had here in St. Louis. What do you think the St. Louis Blues have done wrong in this game? Aaron.
Yeah.
What do you think the St. Louis Blues have done wrong in this game?
Let Hofer start goalie. I'm kidding. Their defense has looked abysmal the entire game. I don't know how they should fix it, but it has to get better than this.
St. Louis did not score in their home opener. They have 2 goals here, and at least their fans get to celebrate something. But, I mean, right now they are pretty quiet here at Enterprise Center with 5:16 left to go, with a 5-2 deficit for their hometown Blues. You could say they have the Blues right now.
Hey, at least they have the lighter blues.
Here's Walker now, having it behind the net. I think these new Blues colors are based off their Winter Classic outfits they had last year against Chicago. They beat them, I believe, 6-2 in that one. Now it's at the Winter Classic at Wrigley Field. Behind the net now. Blues trying to get something here. Here is a shot by Texier off the side of the net. Wraparound attempt, still loose in front of the net. It's up in the air. Goes into the far corner. Fighting for it along the wall, Texier. And then it's taken away by Mikheyev, who dumps it back in. Race for the puck here. And Mylou will pay it off the wall. Here is Renzel with 4.5 minutes to go here in the second. Moving it ahead. Onside shot, save, rebound was in front of the net. Chicago this close to making it 6-2. Most of these Blues fans don't look happy at all. And for good reason, too. 5 goals on 19 shots from 2 goaltenders in the game. That big save by Soderblom, it could have made it 3-2 St. Louis. Looks so big right now for Chicago. Because if that goes in, who knows if the Blues would have built off that lead. Walker has it behind the net. Looking to center one in front. It was there, but no one was in there in blue. Buchnevich will rim it all the way around with 3:40 to go. It seems like the Blues need 1 here in this period to get within 2. Shot from the line. Deflected on goal. Rebound in front. Thomas. Oh, and Buchnevich couldn't bank it in. Best chance the Blues have had in a while. Centering pass. Neighbors has it on the backhand. Still loose in the slot. And chipped to the line and out. That was probably the best shift the Blues have had in a little bit there. Back in onside, 3-on-2. Thomas waiting. Thomas cutting to the net. A backhand on goal. Oh, what a save. Rebound was in front, and it's covered with 3:07 to go. Blues this close to making it 5-3. But now the Blues have started to look a little bit better here. They're starting to get some momentum now.
Yeah, I agree. This is a huge build.
Ooh, Buchnevich. If it had gone off his pants the other way, that's a goal to make it 5-3. And then that deflection right there. Wow. They got chances. They're starting to get chances now. That's better than we could say what they had like 5 minutes ago. They were just nothing. There was nothing going offensively.
They were looking desperate 5 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. And now they are looking like they're starting to get the offense back on their side of things. They just got to keep the puck out of their own net. Kyrou against Dickinson in the faceoff. Kaiser will clear it out to the line, not out. Holloway held it in for a moment. And then Kaiser will clear it out to center. Dumped back in. Nazar trying to get to the loose puck. The faceoffs are even at 13 apiece for both teams that they've won. Holloway will pay it back. Broberg will dump it back in. And then it's Bertuzzi cutting in. Shot. That is deflected out of play with 2:39 left to go in the second period. There's the assistant coaches for each team. Michael Pekka, former Sabre, and Steve Ott, former Star, and former Blue. Both assistant coaches, or for the Steve Ott, he's an associate coach. Michael Pekka is an assistant coach. Two former NHL players from the 90s and 2000s. Parayko playing it off the wall, and Fowler will pick up the puck now. Plays it at center. Bertuzzi will backhand it back into the blue zone. Bennington out to play it. Fowler has it on the backhand, almost turned it over to Nazar, who has a goal in the game. Dickinson. This line has 2 goals already in the game. Bertuzzi. They're just missing Bertuzzi to get a goal on the line. Bertuzzi has it in the corner, lost it, got taken down. Fowler, no penalty. 2 minutes left to go. Teravainen back to the point, and it's intercepted. Walker, 2 minutes left to go here in the period. Blues need something here. Walker, waiting, dropping it off. And nothing developing on that pass. Rimmed all the way around, no one there in blue. Cleared out to center. Broberg will have the puck. And 2 players colliding there in the St. Louis zone. Broberg cutting in. Poke checked away. Moving it again. St. Louis has possession, and then someone fell there. Not held in the zone by Joseph. And shot back in by Doc with less than 90 seconds to go here in the second period in the 5-2 game. Broberg moving it ahead now. Snuggerud. Here's Joseph. Dumping it back in, or tried to. The play is offside due to that, as it was blocked initially, and it throws the play all offside with 1:18 left to go in the second. It's Bedard and Parayko getting tied up there. And that's why there was a little bit of pushing and shoving behind the play when St. Louis had some possession in the offensive zone. It was Bedard and Parayko. Some little bit of slashes and a couple of whacks. Nothing called, though, as they were both engaged in that. Falk and now Broberg with less than a minute left to go here in this second period, where the Blues have let up 3 goals straight, and they need to find something here. Broberg's shot. Save! Rebound was in front, trying to whack it home with 56.7 left on the clock. And the save there by Soderblom. Invited to Team Canada's orientation camp. Connor Bedard, Chicago. Robert Thomas, St. Louis. Parayko to St. Louis. And Jordan Bennington of St. Louis. Bennington was big in that Four Nations face-off final between the USA and Canada. He was big in goal for Canada in that one. He can come up clutch in big situations, Jordan Bennington. When it really matters, he can be one of the best goalies in the league. Face-off in the Chicago zone with 56.7 left. Chicago wins the face-off. Vlasic will move it ahead through the middle. Dumped back in by McKay, who has a goal in the game. Rimmed all the way around, and is Falk playing it off the wall. Not out of the zone just yet, as Chicago has possession. Turned right back over to Falk with 40 seconds left to go. Holloway will move it ahead. Maybe St. Louis has one last rush here and potentially a goal to make it 5-3, because they really need something here going into the third period. But instead, Chicago will clear it, and a race for the puck here, and Parayko will beat Vlasic to it with 20 seconds left on the clock here in the second period. Here's Fowler playing it for Holloway. Holloway waiting, playing it back. Parayko's shot right into the glove with 11 seconds, and then he played it out with 8 seconds. Now with 7 seconds stuck along the boards. Holloway gets it free with 4 seconds. Back to the point. Parayko will fire one off the side of the cage. That'll end the second period. 5-2. Chicago leading. Wow. So an offensive period for Chicago.
It got much better towards the end for St. Louis, but they still have a lot of work to do.
Chicago is one of the not greatest teams defensively, so there is still a possibility for St. Louis to come back in the game. The shots after the period ended was 10-8 in favor of Chicago, so St. Louis got 7 shots around that last half of that period. So they have started to get some offensive chances. The shots in total in the game are 20-15 in favor of the Chicago Blackhawks. And maybe something can develop here for St. Louis going into the third period. Chicago just trying to hold on to a 3-goal lead. Let's check in on this Flames-Utah game. I'm curious. Oh, it's an intermission. Great. So, a 5-2 lead. And let's see here. Calgary was up 1-0 in this game. Let's see how they messed this up. The Delta Center got some new renovations. Oh, wow. How'd he miss that? Then Utah tied it, and then Peterka. Look at this. Peterka just breaks through, delayed penalty, goal, 2-1. And then let's see if the Flames tied it up there. I don't think they did. Oh, a 2-on-1 for Utah. Oh, no, he didn't. I think it's still 2-1 Utah right now in favor of the Mammoth and the Delta Center in Utah. So, interesting stuff right there. Salt Lake City. It's going to be a lot more games tomorrow night. There's only 4 tonight. So, a 5-2 lead in the Board of Governors held a meeting today in New York, the NHL. So, interesting stuff there. See if anything happens with that stuff or whatever with the NHL Board of Governors and all that stuff. We'll go to intermission. We'll go to the intermission report right now. Go over the goals we saw in that second period. All by Chicago. Spoilers if you weren't tuning in with us. 5-2, Chicago leading it. The shots are 20-15 in favor of the Blackhawks. These are all the goals in the second. Reichel with his second goal of the game. Vlasic and Bedard with the assists. That's Bedard's second of the season in assists. At 2:49, a tip-in from the side of the cage. Vlasic with the shot. It deflected off of Lucas Reichel's stick. Made it 3-2 Chicago right there. Then Nazar, less than 2 minutes later, cutting in on a great touch play there, and Nazar beating Neighbors to the puck, and then a fight happened right after that, after Nazar had scored 4-2 at that point. And then at 8:52, Dickinson, after Bennington got put into the game as Hofer got pulled, Dickinson finds a little bit of a hole on Bennington and makes it a 5-2 game in the circle. At 8:52, a wrist shot beats him clean. 5-2 as Jason Dickinson gets his first of the season. Vlasic has 2 assists in the game. He has a 2-point night. Bedard has a point in the game. Bertuzzi, Kaiser with points in the game as well. Grisick with a point in the game as well. Mikheyev, as everyone's just coming in for St. Louis, or pardon me, for the Blackhawks offensively and defensively, putting some contributions towards the game. Probably the best line that's been out there for the Blackhawks was the second line, Nazar and Dickinson and Teravainen. That line has had 2 goals in the game. And then Reichel has had, on his line, he usually this is 11-7, so 2 goals for Reichel. And Mikheyev, one of the defense, no, it's not a defenseman, is it a defenseman? No, he's not a defenseman. Mikheyev on that third line with Dickinson contributing there. So, a 5-2 lead for the Chicago Blackhawks over the St. Louis Blues in a game where they have just risen to the challenge, and Chicago's been consistent offensively. 10 shots in the first, 10 shots in the second, 7 shots for St. Louis in the first period, 8 shots for the Blues in the second period. Started to step it up a little bit around that second half of the period. 20-15, the shots on goal favoring Chicago in total. Faceoffs now favoring Chicago 52% over the Blues. They're 0-for-2 on the power play. The Blackhawks 0-for-1 are the St. Louis Blues. The Blues are probably going to need a power play somehow, some way to try to come back in this game. 23-9 the hits favoring the Blues. 7-6 the block shots favoring the Blues. 13-12 the giveaways favoring the Blackhawks. 8-1 the takeaways favoring Chicago. They're up 5-2. Only 3 penalties have been called in the game. 2 on St. Louis, 1 on Chicago. And right now, the Chicago Blackhawks are sitting real good right now as they have a 5-2 lead. Right now in this game, as they have looked pretty good. Thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I'd be sitting pretty too if I had a 3-goal lead with 20 minutes to play. And really, St. Louis's defense has just looked like a JV team.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the St. Louis Blues have to do here in this third period to try to come back?
To regroup their defense, play tighter, play better, put some more hits on. Don't be afraid to take a penalty.
Because right now they can't. They're going to risk everything in this third period. They're going to go firing in all cylinders and try to just get everything towards Soderblom in trying to get that goal to get them going. Because if they get that 5-3 goal, they're going to have momentum. It's going to be a 2-goal game. And if you get another one quickly, you make it a 1-goal game. It can just transpire like that. If they can just get the offense in order, have Binnington make the saves he needs to save, and get the offense from key players on the ice. What players have looked the best for the Blues in tonight's game?
Personally, I mean, there's been a collection for the Blues that have looked solid, but I would say Holloway and Neighbors have looked the best. 4 hits, 1 goal for Holloway, kind of main contributor. He's 1 of 1 on the faceoff. 1 for 1 on shots. I mean, he's done his part.
St. Louis needing to have a big comeback here in this third period, or else they're going to fall in this game and go to 2-2 in the season, and then Chicago will be 2-1 if they do win this game. They've had Reichel score twice. He's on a hat trick watch. See if he can get it tonight. Dickinson has a goal. Mikheyev has a goal, and Nazar has a goal. 2 of the goal scorers for the Blues was Neighbors, and it was Dylan Holloway. Neighbors and Dylan Holloway were the only 2 goal scorers in the game for the Blues. They're going to need some key contributors. That was the first and second line contributors right there. They're going to need something from their third or the fourth line, because right now they need all the offense they can get right now, even from the defensemen as well. Because I've been noticing Cam Fowler a lot in this game. Parayko as well. They've had chances. They just need to find a way to put it in the back of the net, because Soderblom hasn't faced much. He's only made 13 saves on the night, But, I mean, that's all he's had to face right now. He's been solid in net, and he's been able to make the saves that he's needed to make. So, right now, they going to need a big, big boost to try to come back in this game and make it maybe a tie game. We'll see, because right now they look dead in the water. Scores around the league. Let's go over the scores around the league in today's games. 2-1 Mammoth as the shots are 28-8 in favoring Utah. Flames only have 8 shots on goal against the Utah Mammoth. And it's only a 1-goal game in Utah. Wow. And then everyone expected this score. 8-4 Sabres over the Senators. Let's go over all those goal scores because I'm wondering who scored in that game. Look at this. 8-4. Sabres scored. Wow. It's insane. Jack Quinn made it 1-0. And then Tim Stützle tied it. Then Sanderson made it 2-1 Ottawa. McLeod made it 2-2. Tuck made it 3-2. Zucker made it 4-2. Zucker again made it 5-2. And then Senators tried to make a comeback. Pinto made it 5-3 40 seconds in. Lars Eller made it 5-4 at 2:15. Then McLeod scores 17 seconds later. Then Jack Quinn on a backhand shot at 3:17 makes it 7-4. Kulik with a empty net goal to make it 8-4. Wow. Very high scoring game in Buffalo. And then the Red Wings, this was the game we were supposed to cover. But then YouTube said, you know what, we're going to crash. And now they got to resolve, so we're able to do this game. 4-1 Wings over the Florida Panthers. Kane with the game winner. Appleton with the first goal at 2:09 of the second period. It was a quick shot by Appleton, who has been red hot. He's had 3 goals in the past 2 games for the Wings. And he's going to need to be continuing to be good like that because they don't have Lucas Raymond in their lineup as he is injured day to day and an upper body injury, I believe. And then Patrick Kane on a power play as Showtime continues his 494th goal on a power play on a 5-on-3, 2-0. Marchand made it 2-1. On a wraparound goal on 14:05. And this is how it went off right there. A wraparound in, short side. Third period, no scoring until Appleton got the empty net goal. He has had 2 goals in the past, or 3 goals in the past 2 games. Yeah, he got the game winner in Toronto. He sealed the win here in Detroit. And then Rasmussen with another empty net goal. DeBrincat with the assist. DeBrincat had 2 assists in the third period. And Rasmussen was just able to just glide that one into the empty net. And a 4-1 win for the Red Wings. They have won 3 straight, beating Toronto twice. And beating the defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champions as well in that journey. Third period's about to start in Utah. They're up 2-1 over the Flames. They are out shooting the Flames by 20 shots. See how that one goes. Our game has 5 goals for the Blackhawks, 2 for the Blues. Aaron, your thoughts going into the third period?
Well, what the Blues really have to do, put some shots on net. And just don't be afraid. They've had sloppy giveaways and too many hits. They outnumber the Blackhawks in hits 23-9. But they're losing 5-2, and some of those hits are just unnecessary.
Very unnecessary.
Put more shots on the net. You're down 5 shots, so what might happen if you equalize? You could make 5 of them. You could take the lead 7-5. You could tie the game. You might still lose, but it never hurts to just take some more shots.
In the past 2 games we've commentated, the past 5 periods, we have called 14 goals. 14. And let's hope this is the most exciting period of hockey we've ever seen.
Exciting. Yes. I want exciting so much.
I want a comeback. I want late night hockey. Late night hockey. Overtime.
Go bad.
Calling overtime.
Dude, I woke up 20 minutes before I was supposed to leave for school yesterday.
Jeez. 20 minutes. Wow.
Yes, bro. It was awful. I had to take the quickest shower ever.
Wow. That's tough. You know what's really tough right now?
Yeah, let's hear it.
The St. Louis Blues. They struggling to put pucks in the back of the net. They've been really good on the road, so they just look really bad at home, but look really good at home.
You know, you gotta crack at least one of these jokes during a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would happen if the Blackhawks scored once or twice more? What would that score be?
6 or 7.
6 or 7-2?
Hey, but hold on, wait a minute. What if Chicago scores 1, but the Blues score 5?
That's not happening. But what if it did?
What if the final score beat it?
It would be 6-7.
If it happens, this is gonna be the funniest game I've ever commentated.
Dude, that reminds me, my math teacher, like, unironically said 6-7 because it was part of a math problem. My AP Pre-Calc teacher. It was calculate the height of a rocket at 2 seconds if it's the peak, and it gave us a function, and the peak just so happened to be 67 feet high.
Wow.
Pretty funny stuff.
It's infected our culture with this 6-7 stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's the new niche meme.
The Detroit Red Wings did the 6-7 cam. They have a 6-7 cam in Detroit. So they just show people doing this, the motion. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They have a 6-7 cam now. We haven't seen anything here in St. Louis in a 6-7. I think Penger even, Darren Peng on TNT said 6-7.
Oh yeah. Also, I saw a TikTok. It was yesterday's Sabres game, and there was already a jersey tossed onto the ice.
Oh wow.
And then they won 8-4. So someone lost a jersey and a win.
You know, it's really depressing right now. The New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden, they haven't been able to score a goal. That sets a NHL history record.
They
Not
haven't
being
scored a single goal.
At Madison Square Garden, they have not scored a single goal at Madison Square Garden in the first 3 games.
No.
Brutal.
They've only scored
the
11
road.
goals at all. All on the road, and
They have not
one of them lost.
They lost 3-0 to Pittsburgh on opening night. Who'd they play?
Lost 1-0 to the Caps, and
They
then
lost
2-0 to the Oilers.
Unbelievable. The Rangers set a NHL record. They could set an NHL record right now. If they go scoreless for another game, they beat the 2001-2002 Florida Panthers for longest.
No! Don't bring up the Panthers.
That's when they were bad.
We didn't do that bad, did we?
It was Powell Burry years.
How many games was it?
Yeah,
3?
It was like 122 minutes or something like that.
Oh, that's
Worth
60. That's only 2 games.
or 190 minutes worth of something.
Longest NHL home scoreless streak. 100. Yeah, no, it was the Pittsburgh Pirates
No, the Pittsburgh Pirates, but
in the 1928 season.
Pittsburgh Pirates, wow.
Longest active is currently the New York Rangers.
For Rangers fans, you haven't been able to do that.
Foreshadowing.
And Hofer's back in net. What? What is this game?
Are you kidding?
Bennington's back on the bench. Jim Montgomery has said, hot potato. We'll just switch between goaltenders. So Hofer is back in net. The Blues are trying to make a comeback here. They're down 5-2. What is up with the goaltending in this game for the
What could they
Blues?
possibly be thinking?
I don't know.
We're down 3. We want to come back. Let's put the goalie who's given up 4 goals in like 1.5 periods in.
Bedard almost got that pass as Parayko. As we're underway in the third period, Blues are going to need 3 to tie it up at 5 if Chicago doesn't get another one here. Here's Bedard. A great backhand pass for Vlasic. Jumped on his stick, though. Bedard looking to center one. Now a odd man rush continuing for the Blues here. As they move it in 4-on-3. Parayko shot! And a glove save! What a save with the glove by Soderblom. That was the chance right there to get back in the game. Great shot by Parayko, but a better save there by Soderblom, keeping the Blackhawks lead to 3. It is empty now at Enterprise Center. Look at that. There is barely any Blues fans in the arena. I know it's barely starting the third period, but man, it is quite empty. Then again, it's an 8:30 start, so the 8:50 starts are brutal. A minute into the third period. Thomas moves it ahead. Buchnevich, a backhand pass for Falk. He has some room. Falk on the outside, try to center one. Save made. Here's Dickinson the other way. 3-on-2 for the Blackhawks. Now a 3-on-3. Dickinson drops it off. McKay passing it across. Shot. Save, rebound in front. Save, rebound, score! Donato puts it in and it's 6-2.
Yeah, I think that's the nail in the coffin for the Blues.
And it just makes you question why they brought back Hofer into the game when they had Bennington in net. Wow. So a 6-2 lead for the Chicago Blackhawks. And I believe Donato.
Right back where he started.
Donato got his own rebound. And Chicago has scored 6. His 109th career goal. The Blues have allowed 11 goals here on home ice. They've only scored 2 on home ice. All in this game. They let up 5 against Minnesota. They got shut out that night. And they have allowed 6 here at home in this one. And it's a 6-2 lead for the the Blackhawks on 24 shots. 17 shots belonging to the Blues. We had such a good first period, and then Chicago just opened it up in the second period with a 3-goal performance. Shot from the line was wide of the net. Bertuzzi playing it along the wall. Now it has become a 4-goal lead. Blues even now in desperation mode. Donato with his first of the season. Vlasic and Mikheyev with the assist. I think Vlasic's had like 3 points in this one. All assists. That's going to be an icing here on the Blues. Unbelievable stuff we're seeing here in St. Louis. What's going on with the St. Louis Blues right now?
They are collapsing. I wouldn't be shocked if they just try and run out the clock at this point. That is Hofer's 5th goal allowed. That is tying his all-time worst performance. And if you thought it couldn't get much worse, it did. Again. He's at -10 fantasy points. You might as well cut him now.
Here's a turnover almost by Kaiser. Ryan Donato with his first goal of the season. He has had 4 shots here tonight. Cleared out of the zone by the Blues. So Kaiser has the puck. More than 2 minutes in to this third period. And yikes. Ryan Donato had 31 goals last season, led the team for the Blackhawks. He gets his first of the season here. Bedard is in onside. He hasn't had a goal. He's offside, though. I'm surprised Bedard hasn't had a goal in the game. He's had an assist in the game, but he hasn't had a goal. I mean, what's going right for the Blackhawks here tonight?
Everything. They've had a great offense. They've had a great defense. Reichel's 2 goals. Dickinson's 1. Vlasic's 2 assists. They have 5 different people with a goal.
And we just go back to those mistakes that Hofer made on the first 2 goals by the Blackhawks. And then that save by Soderblom That could have made it 3-2 St. Louis early on in the second period before the 3-2 goal by Reichel. And for the favor of the Blackhawks. It could have been a different game if Kyrou put it into the back of the net and would have made it 3-2 St. Louis in that second period. Dickinson will shoot it back in. Hofer out to play it. Backhands it around. Dickinson from the wall shoots it wide of the net. Renzel sending it low. Up in the air. It was right in the crease. And the Blues do not ice the puck here. Walker will get it. And he'll play it off the wall. So Blues fans have not had a lot to cheer about in this building. This season, at least. They've only had 2 goals to cheer about. They haven't had a lead here at Enterprise Center, their home building. Here's Kyrou cutting in. Kyrou looking. Goes behind the net. Going up high to the point. Here's Parayko. Sending it deep into the corner. Buchnevich, or pardon me, Holloway, up high. Shot by Parayko wide of the net. Another shot from the point wide of the net. Here's Parayko again. Blues are trying to get something here. Centering pass up in the air, held in at the point. Dumped back in by Holloway. Here's Holloway again. The flex out to center. Hey, wait a minute. Chicago did score 1. Now we need St. Louis to score 5 so we can have that final score. Here is Buchnevich cutting back in. Buchnevich centered. And that one went to the crease. Here is Doc shooting it back in. Playing it off the wall, Falk in his own zone. And a turnover right in front of the net. Doc. And it is cleared out to center. Blues will dump back in. Jake Neighbors will look to get to the loose puck. Played off the wall, Kaiser. Thomas, and then Doc looked like he got a penalty. And there's a penalty upcoming on St. Louis. A high stick and now a little bit of pushing and shoving right afterwards. And the Chicago Blackhawks are going to go to the power play again. And now a little bit of a tussle in the corner. Neighbors and Kaiser along the glass. Now it seems like the game's going to be more of a physical, maybe more fights at this tail end of the third period. There's a high stick there by Thomas.
Yeah, I think the tempers are letting loose a little bit on the St. Louis side. I don't think Chicago could care less. This is free power play.
High stick is the call. And Jake Neighbors, the second penalty of the night, I think. And now the Blackhawks have a chance to go up by 5 to make it 7-2. So far, Chicago hasn't done bad this season. They were pretty close in that Florida matchup. Pretty close in that Boston game they lost in overtime. They haven't done pretty bad in these first 5 games. They haven't looked like last year. They looked terrible last year. Here's Bedard.
I think goal.
Score! One-timer. Okay. Teravainen, 7-2, a power play goal.
That took 7 seconds. And this is officially Hofer's worst performance. He has allowed 6 goals and in the least amount of shots. 12 saves in 18 shots. And somehow this does not give him a lower real rating.
Bedard with the pass, and I think Bertuzzi got the deflection maybe right in front. But regardless, it is now a 7-2 Chicago lead. So Buffalo scored 8 today, and now Chicago scored 7 today. That one is offside of the line.
6-7.
Mm-hmm. Hofer's led in 6 tonight, and the score is 7 for the Blackhawks.
Hey, that's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. I thought of that one while you were making your.
So wouldn't that make? Hey, this is the new niche meme, isn't it? Like 6-7.
Oh, jeez, we're gonna spam this joke until it's not funny. There's probably no one watching this.
That's good.
7-2 Chicago, and has fallen apart here for the St. Louis Blues here in this game. 25 shots for the Blackhawks, 17 for the Blues. Up high, here's a shot, blocked in front. Blues just trying to get maybe a goal to just stop the bleeding, just for fun. Maybe they just give one more to the fans. Because right now, if you're St. Louis fans, you got the Blues. Power play goal by Bertuzzi. Teravainen and Bedard with the assists. Bedard's had a 2-point game, both assists. No goals for Bedard in the game, though. Hofer out to play it. Dickinson was trying to get it. Broken stick, and now here come the Blues the other way. Onside is Texier. Texier trying to pass it down low. Texier slaps one. Save made. Just some frustration on that shot. You can just tell. That slap shot just had frustration on it. And Jim Montgomery looking from his bench. Goes to Aaron's corner now. Now to Aaron.
All right, let's kick it back to the other sports world. Clippers are up 99-72 over the Kings. Insurmountable lead with 8:14 left in the fourth quarter. And in Los Angeles, it's halftime. The Lakers up 13 over the Mavericks, 66-53. The leading scorer in that one still gave Vincent 22 points for the Lakers. The Celtics walked it off versus Toronto. Xavier Tillman, a 12-foot floater with 1.5 seconds left. The Raptors can't do anything about that. 110-108 there in Boston. And the Hornets, a shocker in Charlotte. 145-116 the final score. The leading scorer was not Lonzo Ball. It was Miles Bridges, a double-double, 29 points, 10 rebounds. He went 5 for 7 from the three-point line and 11-16 from the field. Leading scorer for the Grizzlies, Javon Small, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Leading the team, you could say.
Could say. Seems like it.
Your mic is very quiet.
St. Louis, the fans just trying to get something going. There's already fans heading to the exits. Tomorrow, Oilers, Islanders. In the Islanders, they haven't won a game. They're going to be in Long Island. Utah, I believe they're up 2-1 in their game against Calgary. They played the Sharks on Friday. Saturday, Kraken, Toronto. And then next Wednesday will be the Red Wings and the Buffalo Sabres. Chicago, most goals versus St. Louis since November 30th of 2010. That was a 7-5 victory for Chicago. So it has not happened in almost 15 years since they've scored 7. Wow. That's insane. Off the face-off one here. Here's Falk. Sending it deep into the corner. Along the wall, it is fought for. Loose comes free to the point. Falk again. He shoots. It was blocked in front. Here's another shot by Joseph wide of the net. Held at the point, though. Sending it deep, Tucker. And Tucker could not hold it in as it comes back out to center ice. Texier sends it across. Try to shoot it back in. Could not. And it is Tucker again. Here's Walker. Cutting in, dropping it off. Here's a shot by Texier, save made. Rebound in front. Couldn't get the rebound. Nazar trying to clear it. He does. Nice move there to get it out of the zone. Nazar trying to cut in. And Falk will pick up the puck now. Turnover here almost to Bertuzzi. He fell down, though. 25-19. And what is playing in the background? 7 minutes have passed here in the third period. Here's Renzel playing it along the boards. It is Vlasic clearing the zone. Broberg will move it ahead onside. And it's Shen. Holloway has it behind the net. Now on the corner. Fought for loose. 7-2 the shots, or 7-2 the score favoring Chicago. Kyrou has it along the boards. Kyrou in front, save. Rebound was loose. Cleared out of the zone, and it will be no icing as they went on goal. 7-2.
Do you think they will be?
Go ahead.
Do you think they will be pulling their goalie perchance?
Well, we've seen it before. Remember Patrick Waugh pulling his goalie with like 10 minutes left to go in the game.
Well, they're only down 5. I think it can happen.
Could happen. We'll see, though. Or maybe this is a lesson that Jim Montgomery wants to set here for this Blues team. Maybe want to give him a message. We'll see, though. See if the Blues can get something. Shot from the line, deflected just wide of the net. Suter with the deflection. Back to the line again. Here's Parayko. Slaps one. Wide rebound in front. Was still loose. And it's played off the wall. Not out of the zone. Suter in front. Bounce towards the goaltender and Soderblom, and a save made with 11:27 left here in the third period of a 7-2 Chicago lead. This will almost tie the record with the most amount of goals we've seen in a game by one team that we commentate on NHL MHS. The game that had the most goals in total was an 8-4 win for Florida over the Colorado Avalanche. That was a couple of seasons ago when we streamed on Twitch. Played off the wall, cleared out of the zone. Tucker will get it. Florida scored 8 goals in that game against Colorado. It was an 8-4 win in that, I believe it was a 2023-24 campaign. Mikheyev will move it ahead. Onside shot, save made by Hofer. He almost let that one in. The fans clapping after that save. Look at this save. This is the turning point. Look at that save. That was a turning point in the game. That pass across the ice was right. It was right there. And then Buchnevich, that chance could have made it, I believe, a 4-2 game or maybe 5-2 or 5-3 game actually. Nothing going the Blues' way, though, here in this game. What do you think Chicago can ride this moment? Can they ride this momentum going into their next game, Chicago?
I think that Chicago has plenty of momentum. They're playing the Canucks, Ducks, Lightning, Kings, Senators their next 5. 4 of these games are at home.
At the United Center. Ooh.
The only game that isn't is in Tampa versus the Lightning.
The Lightning have not done good either.
4 of their next 5 opponents have a losing record.
Here's Kyrou. He shoots it wide.
Oh.
St. Louis is just begging for another goal. Even if it would be a 7-3 final, I think some of these fans would want to celebrate another goal. Even if the game has gotten out of their reach, they have allowed 5 straight since they tied it at 2. Here's a shot. Oh, what a save right off the glove and out of play. Even though Soderblom's let in 2, he hasn't let one in since the first period. With 10:28
the
to go.
Blackhawks' worst choke is 4 goals, and this happened in the 2022 season against the Buffalo Sabres. They were up 4-0 and lost 6-5.
Was that in a 1 period?
It was in 2.
Shot save made. I think one of the worst chokes they had was they're up 4-2 against Dallas a couple of seasons ago, and Dallas scored, I believe, 4 goals in the last 8 minutes to win the game 6-4.
Well,
held in the zone.
The Wild have also choked another 4-goal lead in 2010 against the Minnesota Wild in 1 period and then proceeded to lose in the shootout.
Oh, wow. So, it's now out of the reach, but right now the Blues don't have any energy right now with half a period left to go here in St. Louis. This is our first game we've done here in St. Louis as well. So, not a good showing for the St. Louis Blues on their first time here on the NHL and MHS. Centering pass right in front for Walker out of his reach. Burakovsky gets pushed off the puck. Kaiser will clear it. Falk. Shot back in by Broberg. Oh, a bad play off the wall. Walker in front. Oh, my goodness. They still can't score on that. They are cursed right now. Broberg has it. Philip Broberg got back to the line. Shot. Save made again. Soderblom gave up the puck. It was an open net, and somehow they couldn't score on it as he got back in time. Still a 7-2 lead for the Chicago Blackhawks here in St. Louis, Missouri, which is misery right now.
I want to go to bed. Can this game go any faster?
Yeah, it is, what is it, 11:30? Oh, 11:03.
It's 12:03 in my time.
Oh, it's 11:03 my time. It's still early.
So. Well, the Mavs get the best number of points possible. They're down 7, 74-67. Lakers on top, 8-11 in the third.
A tight one in
Lakers
Utah.
lead score what?
A tight one in Utah. It's 2-1 with 5:34 left to go in the third period in Salt Lake City. And the Mammoth is barely holding on to a 2-1 lead over the Flames. So that one could potentially go into an overtime. We'll see, though. This one right here will not go into overtime.
Please don't. You're going to jinx it, and then it's going to be awful.
Yeah, like 5 goals is going to happen in 9-10. Wait a
Dude,
minute.
you say this now, and then they're going to score 2, and you're going to be like, oh, hey, wait a second. It might happen. Watch it happen.
They do that,
Chicago-
and then Chicago puts an empty net goal. So
You're going to do all this, and then they're going to lose 8-7. And it's going to be the highest scoring NHL game ever.
the highest score in NHL game was like 12, like 14 goals.
It was 12-9.
12-9.
Wayne Gretzky had a 7-point game.
That's when you know that was a long time ago. Wayne Gretzky.
Well, hey, it's not the highest scoring game by a single team. That was the Montreal Canadiens 16-3 win over the Quebec Bulldogs in 1920.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the. I was thinking about the Patrick Waugh game, where Patrick Waugh basically wanted to trade from Montreal if he let in like 7 goals, and they let him in. Here's a 2-on-1. Dickinson with Donato. Save. Wide of the net, actually. Here's Thomas the other way. Maybe they can get some hope here. Thomas. And the Blues will not hold it in the zone. I was thinking about the game where Patrick Waugh let in like 7, and then the Red Wings won like 11-2 against Montreal, and then Patrick Waugh wanted to trade from Montreal, and then he went to Colorado, and then won the Cup in '96. That's what I was thinking. It was like one of the high-scoring games. Here's a shot right into the glove, and they score! A fluttering puck towards the net front, and the Blues make it 7-3.
Hey, so like, what did I say about, oh, they'll score 2? Huh. Weird. They scored 1.
Tyler Tucker, a shot from the blue line, just fluttered off the glove. Oh, that was a weird one. We've seen a lot of weird ones here tonight. Blues make it 7-3 with 8:32 to go. Maybe if they can get another quick one, maybe they're back in this game. I don't think they even do the fist bumps. They're just really frustrated tonight. But the Blues are back on the board. They stopped the bleeding. They had allowed 5 goals in a row. Now they're back on the board with Kyrou having the puck again. Kyrou with the puck. Will send it in deep into the corner. Centering pass in front. A backhand on goal was stopped. Rebound was in front. Parayko in front again and couldn't get it a pass. Oh, the Blues were this close to making it 7-4. Oh, boy. If the Blues get another one, hold on. Here come the Blues back in again. Maybe they got some momentum here. Holloway. And the pass was broken up, and Bedard will move it in the other way, 2-on-2. Levshinov with him. Dropping it off. Reichel shoots. Blocked rebound. Score! 8-4 or 8-3. Chicago makes it 8-3. The goal scorer, Ryan Green. Wow. So, another assist for Bedard. That's his third assist of the game. And Ryan Green on a rebound. His first career goal. Wow. His first career goal comes in a game where he makes a lead back to 5. And it's 8-3 Chicago. So even the Blues can't get a break. When it looks like they got life again, they don't. Chicago shuts it down.
Yeah.
That deflects out of play. Would that be a delay of game? I don't know. We're going to call a penalty here. We might see. This is another great play by Bedard. Bedard is so good tonight. 3 assists for Connor Bedard in the game. Reichel's shot was broken up, and then Green on the rebound on the broken play. His first career goal. Face-off won by the Blackhawks. Levshinov. This is going to be one of the highest scoring games we've ever had on the network here. Shot was blocked in front. Teravainen. 8-3. Chicago. We could tie a record here with our highest scoring game. We've had 12 goals in one game. We have 11 here in this one. Bertuzzi's offside at the line with 6:58 left to go here in the third period. Let's check in on that Utah game. See if Calgary tied it up. Nope, it's with 3:28 left to go. It's 2-1. They saved that puck, though, for Ryan Green, his first career NHL goal. And he made it 8-3. And it was a pretty good goal, too. His first one was a pretty good goal.
I should say that the Chicago Bears have gotten a 2-point conversion to take an 8-3 lead over the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, I wonder where the Rams are at right now.
Hey, wait.
Wait a minute, they're not in
If
St.
these
Louis.
are like the Los Angeles Kings, but the Rams are in LA. Does that mean it's like a sort of Los Angeles Ram?
This is the point of the game where you just goof off because it's an 8-3 Chicago lead. I mean, wow. Ryan Green with 38 points, 13 goals, 25 assists in 40 games at Boston University last season. Here's Fowler. Fowler looking. He'll pass it across to the far wing. A shot deflects out of the boards. Back up high again. Another patient play by Fowler and a save made. Delayed penalty upcoming. It's going against Chicago. And might be a lot of a power play here. It might be some bleeding by Joseph in front of the net. Could be a 4-minute power play for the Blues. 6:07 to go.
Chicago penalty number 46. 2-minute minor for cross-checking.
2-minute minor for cross-checking. And so the Blues will go to the power play to try to make this an 8-4 game. Yeah, that was a clear cross-check in front of the net, though. Right. Louis Crevier with the cross-checking infraction. And it is cleared out of the zone by the Blackhawks. So 6 minutes left to go here in the third. Holloway, Neighbors, Suter, Kyrou, and Falk out there on the ice. See if they can get one here, Aaron. And that pass is broken up. Short-handed, a 2-on-1. Onside Teravainen to Dickinson. Oh, he missed the net wide. Trying to go for 9 goals in the game. Holloway will shoot it back in. A short-handed chance for Dickinson to get his second of the night. Couldn't convert, though. Mikheyev poked out to the point. Falk, backhand pass across. In front of the net, and Kyrou will get the puck now. 5:18 left to go here in the third period. A minute and 9 left to go on the power play for St. Louis. Falk across. Holloway pressured at the line, sent it in deep. Chicago will clear it once again, and a patient play there by Vlasic to shoot it down the length of the ice. 5 minutes to go here in the third. Bouncing puck in the corner. Thomas will get it. This building's kind of empty now. There's just Chicago fans in here. Thomas, Snuggerud, dumped back in by Kaiser. And Rinzel clears it to the line, not out. Blues hold it in. Another clearance attempt by Teravainen, and he does clear it out that time. Sent deep into the corner. And 30 seconds left to go on this power play here for the Blues. Fowler through the middle. Here's Robert Thomas cutting in. Snuggerud off the boards. Cleared once again. It's just been that type of night here for the Blues, isn't it, Aaron? It's been that type of night.
Yeah. I cannot express to you how much I want to lay down and go to sleep right now.
Shot save off the wall with 4:04 to go. That's how much time until you get to sleep.
4 minutes. Yay.
4:04 to go. It
Go.
is 8-3 Chicago. The latest goal was Ryan Green's first goal ever in the NHL. It is 8-3. Let's go over the scores. Did Utah hold on to win? Empty net. Let's go check out that Calgary game real quick. Or have the game. I can pull it up on my phone.
Hold on. There's a stoppage.
Let's see. I can pull it up on my phone right here. So you can see. There's an empty net for Calgary. They're moving it along the wall. We're going to commentate this game. Okay, we're back in the game. I guess they misstopped the St. Louis game. Everyone thought they won the commercial. So we're back in St. Louis. Everyone thought we were going to commercial. Back to the line. Shot. Wide of the net. See, even the broadcast is so lazy about this now because it's such a bad game. Parayko waiting. Parayko again. Along the wall. Someone lost their glove in the corner with 3:20 to go. Imagine if it was someone's birthday today and they went to this game and they're a Blues fan. I feel so bad for them. Crevier will clear it out to the line, not out. Parayko, now Texier sends it in low. Walker looking in front. Parayko can't hold it in with 3 minutes left to go. Mikheyev was trying to stick it away from him. Can you keep up with the score in Calgary or in Utah? Rinzel passing it down low. Feeding it in front. That's intercepted. Aaron, what's the score in Utah? Here's a breakaway pass for Suter, a backhander wide.
Still 2-1, a minute 9. They had empty net stoppage. Don't know what that means.
Donato.
They stopped the game.
Oh, wow. Donato. And now it's Donato moving it ahead. Onside. Shot. Blocked in front. We're almost done here in St. Louis. An 8-3 stomping by the Blackhawks, and they're looking for more. Donato down low. He misses the net on the backhand. Held in the zone, though, by Ryan Green. Sending in no Mailu. And with 2 minutes left to go in the third period, is an 8-3 lead for the Chicago Blackhawks. Grzelcyk will dump it back in. 11 goals in this one, Aaron. We have commentated 18 goals in the past 2 games on this network. Pass across into the middle. Holloway couldn't get the pass. 2-on-1 for the Blackhawks. Passing it for Teravainen. Dropping it off again. Nazar off the wall. They're not even trying anymore. They're trying to get this game done with. Aaron's trying to go to bed. This game is about to be over in 80 seconds. Parayko will shoot it back in. Off the glove of Kaiser. And I'm already messing up the names because I'm already checked out. Soderblom plays it off the wall.
And in Utah, Stenlund, a center ice dagger from 160 feet out. The Mammoth will hang on to win this one, more than likely 3-1.
A shot and a stop there. It was 57.3 left on the clock here in the third period in our game we have here tonight. 8-3, Chicago leading. This is the playoff matchups. 1988, Blues 1-5 in the division series. And there's been a lot more matchups ever since then, in the 90s, in the 2000s, and then the 2010s, obviously. Race for the puck here. That'll be an icing. Joseph complains. Why are you complaining with 42.3 left on the clock? Just frustration all around for the Blues. 8-3 Chicago. In a game that kind of just... What went wrong for St. Louis? What was the turning point in this game? What do you think?
Hofer.
Yep, I mean, I would agree with you there.
Truly abysmal today. It was
Save made by Hofer with
awful.
39 seconds left. Truly abysmal. 6 goals allowed tonight. His all-time worst. 8 goals tonight by the
7 goals
Blackhawks.
allowed.
Ties franchise record for most goals scored at St. Louis. Also, February 20th, 1990. Wow. They hadn't had this happen since 1990. That's when you know that's pretty bad. 35 years later. There's 25 seconds left on the clock here. Reichel moving it ahead. That pass was intercepted. Moved ahead here. Here's Joseph sending it deep with 15 to go on the clock. Texier will get it. Cleared out of the zone. No icing. The St. Louis Blues are going to fall to 2-2. The Blackhawks have a dominating victory on the road as they win it 8-3. Wow. First 5+ goal win at St. Louis since February 8th of 1996. A 6-1 win in that one. The Chicago Blackhawks win this one 8-3. Thoughts on the game?
Chicago just got everything done that St. Louis didn't. Goaltending, offense, defense. We're more careful with the puck.
St. Louis had one good period, which was the first period, and that's it. Hofer lets up 6. Or 7.
It was 7.
It was 7. And Bennington allowed 1. So, from Aaron IMAX, thank you for watching. 8-3. Chicago wins it. We'll see you next time here on the NHL and MHS. Good night, everybody.